Hi, I'm John Corvino, and I teach in the philosophy department. The late food critic Craig Claiborne used to tell a story of a woman who received a whole ham and was disappointed because she didn't have a saw. And she knew that every time her mother would cook a ham, she'd always saw an inch off the end before putting it in the oven. And she assumed that was how it had to be done. So she called up her mother on the phone and said, "I've got this ham, I don't have a saw. Why did you saw the inch off the end?" And her mother said, "Well, I learned to cook by watching my mother cook, and that's how she always did it, so I assumed that's how it was supposed to be done." So the two of them got on the three-way calling and called the grandmother and said, "We have this ham, we don't have a saw. Why do you always saw an inch off the ham before cooking it?" And the grandmother, who was kind of surprised at this point, said, "Well, it's because I never had a roasting pan large enough to hold a whole ham." And I love this story because I think it says something about so many of our beliefs and practices as human beings. We hold them because our parents held them and their parents held them before them, and we never take the time to step back and say, why do we believe these things? Do we have good reasons for our beliefs and practices? Philosophy invites us to step back in that way, to critically scrutinize our fundamental beliefs and convictions about how we should live our lives, about the nature of reality, about the justification of knowledge claims. And as a philosophy professor, I get to think about and write about and speak about those things on a daily basis, and I think that's the coolest job in the world.